Hey, everybody. Welcome back to One Email, Two Takes.
Episode
And I say,
8.
well, oh, is it? Is it
Yeah,
episode 8? Yeah,
we're up to 8
episode
now.
8. And I said welcome back because I think we have some people who actually look forward to this every week, which is kind of exciting. But if it is your first time joining us, we'll keep our introductions just a little brief here. But my name's Christina Finseth. I lead growth marketing for a company called Interseller, which is a prospecting and outreach platform for recruiters. And we were just recently acquired by Greenhouse. I am also a strategic advisor to Lavender. So, Will,
Yes.
your turn.
Yeah, and Lavender is a company that I co-founded. We are a email writing assistant for salespeople. So we help sellers write better emails faster. And one of the lovely parts of my role here at Lavender is I get to share all of the interesting findings and data that we see across the millions of sales emails that we get going through our platform every single month. And so with One Email, Two Takes, I provide some of that perspective. Christina provides some of that perspective to emails that we're seeing. So Christina, would you like to pull up the email this week?
Let's do it. I love this one. It's so different from the ones we've looked at previous episodes. So
Yeah, seriously.
let's do it.
So this was a email that I helped a rep with in a one-on-one. So I do a lot of one-on-one coaching with individual reps. And so he brought this to my attention. Subject line, ever wonder why? Will, ever notice some reps close less than others? You might wonder why polished reps get their forecasts wrong, and why other times a rookie saves the day with a fluke. In our experience, what goes in the pipeline holds far more weight than ability. With our company, you can map out your TAM, find best accounts within it, and get hold of the right people. Can I send a short video to show you? Signed, the rep. So Christina, what are your first impressions here? Because I think you had a great adjective to describe it.
Oh, what was the adjective I used?
It was kitschy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So sorry, I'm in out of office mode this week. Yeah, I like the storytelling because I am a marketer and I love a good story. But yeah, it's a little kitschy and it starts with the subject line, right?
Mhm.
Ever wonder why? I'm probably not going to open it, but I'm like kind of curious. But then,
Yep.
yeah, the beginning is very kitschy. And I think, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the CTA either. Just like, can I send a short video to show you? I personally know, just being in the game, and I'm sure Will does too, that if I don't respond, the second touch might be that video. So
Yeah, it's kind of predictable, right? You're sort of showing your cards a little too early.
yes.
Can I send you a short video? We've put together a PDF to walk you through all the things that we can do better for you, right? It's like, okay, you could have just sent me the report and just said, hey, I looked at this stuff and I put together a report. Like I get like there's probably a a capacity threshold, and that's why you're doing it. But at the same time, it's not as effective as it once may have been. It's a tried and overtried and overplayed kind of thing. So good call out on the CTA. There were some things that I did like about it though. It was very simple. So I say this all the time. Simple emails statistically get more responses. 70% of emails are written at or beyond a 10th grade reading level. And the way that this has cut down on that complexity is it's very simple sentences, very short common words. Towards the bottom, it starts to get a little bit more complicated. And actually, some of the complexity is not actually through the writing style, but through the multitude of topics brought in. But overall, I'd say this is a short and simple email. And those are two things that are really valuable when driving response rate. Another one of the things that we're noticing in our data is the number of questions you ask has a really high impact on response rate. So this email has 2 questions, and we're actually seeing 2 questions is a huge drop off after 1. Strangely, there's actually an uptick when you get to 5 questions, but yeah, I'm not sure how you might do that. Maybe each line would be like its own question, but if you're having success with 5 questions, please reach out to me. I'd love to understand your witchcraft, but 0 or 1 question actually gets the highest performance. 1 question being the optimal. And so, yeah, this sort of like poking the bear
Yeah.
starter question, it actually doesn't help you. So Christina, you want to go through some rewrites?
Let's do it.
All right, so we'll start with mine. So I rewrote quite a bit here. But the main thing that I wanted to get to at the start was the subject line. So that subject line, as Christina mentioned, kind of fed right into that whole kitschy, I know exactly what I'm getting into kind of nature. And so I like to use this internal camouflage. So subject line like pipeline or priority accounts, where it almost feels internal, but it speaks to whatever is going on within the email. So like pipeline, for example, I literally write, it all comes back to pipeline. And so like the subject line has a lot of, it makes sense that I would title it that way. You could even do, given the time of year, Q4 pipeline. So it feels even more timely, but it would just speak to that in the email. So Will, given your experience in sales, I'm sure you know even the best reps miss quota. So I took that question and I rephrased it as a statement. It all comes back to pipeline. So instead of getting into ability versus pipeline, I just say it's about pipeline. At company, we can help your team prioritize the accounts in your market. We'll even surface the best people to talk to. Would this help your team? So I took a lot of the same messaging and just simplified it and make it much more direct. There wasn't much to simplify. So like I didn't necessarily, simplify it too crazily. I just kind of reframed it into a much more direct conversational nature, as though I'm talking to Christina, as opposed to I'm trying to send some marketing campaign. Christina, any feedback for me?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm with you. I kind of struggled because the first email, it's not that it's horrible. It might actually work, right? I think testing, right? Testing. I think what was hard for me, and you kind of hit on this, is that the original email hits on a whole lot of different problems, and it's just very complex and honestly could be rolled out into, kind of building out those problems and value prop for each touch point, right? You could have that maybe in 3 or 4 emails and build around it. So what I like about your email is that you get to one problem. It makes it very easy and simple to understand what problem you're trying to address, at least in this specific email and outreach attempt, right?
One idea, one email.
Yep. Yeah. So I really like it. I think it's simple. It's really easy to read. I think you might have the winning email this week. I'm just saying.
Come
it's
on.
Good.
Let's see yours. Let's see yours.
Okay. Mine's a little bit more word heavy. Now I'm like, I want to go rewrite mine again. All right. So I was being a little kitschy. So I was like, it's all about the pipeline. I was thinking about it's all about the base. I don't know. I was just
I love it
in my head. But subject, it's all about pipeline or pipeline velocity, which is like a big thing that people talk about, and the right pipeline. So I was also trying to hit on like what people care about potentially if I'm reaching out to them. And this is my email. So I said, Will, noticed you're managing a fairly large sales team. Will, just quite frankly, is not, but let's just go with it.
Yeah.
Thought I'd reach out. I'm willing to bet that pipeline forecasting is a huge priority for you, and accuracy is even more important. We're helping sales team at X and Y close more deals by surfacing the right accounts and prospects at the right time. This means reps will be focused on more quality accounts, open to exploring how we can do the same for you. Cheers, rep. So what I'm trying to accomplish here, by the way, is I'm also trying to focus really on one problem. And instead of being super assumptive, I like to use language that's a little bit more friendly by saying like, I'm willing to bet. Like, I'm not going to say with certainty that this is the most important to you or that it's a huge priority for you. But because of conversations I've had, so I'm painting that subject matter expert stance, I'm willing to bet because I'm really confident that this is probably important to you, right? And then I just kind of went with this little, hey, what does this actually mean for you? This means your reps are going to be focused on more quality accounts. So can we do the same for you? So that's my rewrite. What do you think, Will?
I love this. Also, the little carrot, I think that's so cool and unique. You think about like a lot of what's happening when folks are reading your email, right? They're reading it for categorization, not necessarily comprehension. And so these kinds of pattern breaks like saying I'm willing to bet versus I imagine that, where that might be more common language, but saying I'm willing to bet's a little bit out there, or using a carrot like this, it'll stand out and it'll actually get someone to read what you've had to write. So you mentioned it being a little bit wordy, but I think it's actually fantastic. You know, you do a great job of building credibility here. And I love these interesting little pattern breaks that will actually make the message stand out and not feel like something kitschy in the inbox.
You know what? Now that I read it out loud, I like it more. I think when I was writing it, I was like, and then I was looking at yours and I was like, oh, this is so simple. Man, keep simplifying, but always be simplifying, right? But no, I think this was a good one. This was more challenging this week, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love the format of this, right? You start with an observation. Based on that observation, you show that you've got some subject matter expertise here. Then you like prove that you got the subject matter expertise. Then you do this cool pattern break that like simplifies that down a little bit further. And then a nice interspace CTA. It's cool. This is great. Well, cool. If you enjoy these, obviously subscribe to the Sales Hacker YouTube. That's where they get published first. They also go out via Sales Hackers weekly newsletter. So be sure to sign up for that. And then every other Monday, so today, November 22nd, we have email office hours where you can come with your emails. We'll rewrite them live. We'll tell you our feedback. And yeah, until next time.
Until next time. And even though you're going to be listening to this on November 23rd and you're going to have FOMO about email office hours today, because Will didn't think about that when you said it, we'll catch you in 2 weeks. So
yes, we do these weekly. So be sure to sign up.
Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate.
Right on.